Bands and musicians have traveled America's back roads for decades, entertaining those who sit on bar stools along the way. Tonight, we introduce you to America's bands and musicians right here in Central Illinois. This is Clubhouse Lounge Radio's Backroads and Barstools.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the return of Backroads and Barstools on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. I'm your host, Keith Gibson, and alongside me today are two great men who have traveled the country and making music and doing everything that we do for Backroads and Barstools, playing the dive bars, the guitars, and singing a few songs. It is the Traveling Radio Show, and with me, gentlemen, if you'll introduce yourself.
My name's Gabriel Nemeth. I'm the lead singer and guitar player and the songwriter.
And my name's Ian Nemeth. I'm a bass player.
And you guys have been playing a little bit of everywhere all over here recently. It's summertime. It is a great time to play music. And let's talk a little bit about where you came from. Where are you guys originally from?
Well, we're from all over the place. I think I've lived just in most towns up and down Route 45 with the exception of Monticello. But we play around Rantoul, and my dad and I, we live in Loda together. And we're kind of just hanging around that area quite a bit.
All right. Ian, did you grow up around the area too?
I grew up in Dallas, and then I've been all over the country, just different things. But yeah, we live over on Lake Iroquois, over in Loda, and we've been stretching our wings out here playing music between Kankakee, Champaign, Bloomington, and looking to go a little further.
What brought you from Dallas all the way up to Loda?
Well, I got married.
Okay.
And
I
her family's
that.
here, so.
And so you guys have been here how long?
20 plus years. I don't know. And my wife's going to kill me when she hears this. I don't know. It's been a while.
It's all right. After about 10, you lose track. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. All right. So you guys, father, son.
Yeah.
And you're not the only two in?
No,
correct?
we've got a
more?
four-piece. Yeah, we got a four-piece band. We've got Steve Morrison on drums from Appaloosa, and we've got Jeremy McKinney. He plays our rhythm guitar.
Now, how long have you guys been together?
I think that the four of us have been together for probably collectively a month or two.
Yeah, it's only been a couple months. So we started the band October of last year, and we've gone through a couple of member changes, slowly improving the sound, and we're at a real good place now. So I'm real excited for people to come out and hear what the new band sounds like.
And you just had a gig over the holiday at Paxton.
Yep.
And what is kind of your music? What do you guys kind of sound like? Let's get to know what the Traveling Radio Show is all about here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
I'd like to call it original because we started out trying to want to do some classic country. I'm a big fan of Hank Williams, Waylon Jennings, that whole area. But as the original started getting pumped out, we just happened to have a bit of rock and roll that's infested itself in there that I just can't get rid of because it feels so good, you know?
Well, he's 21, so there's a little bit of angst in there, so the rock and roll comes out. I try to keep him country.
Well, I don't blame you. I feel like I'm your age more, Ian.
Yeah.
And that 21, yeah, I mean, when I was 21, I remember those days.
Yeah.
And they were fun, and I had a lot of angst. I love that word. So what kind of rock do you guys throw in there, though?
We do some covers of the Rolling Stones. I think we played around with a couple of more unheard of Led Zeppelin songs that have more of a honky-tonk vibe to them. And then the songs that I write kind of in that scene, you know, the drums are kind of Boots and Cats, just high energy, kind of rock and roll with a little bit of country twang in there.
And the blues influences about everything in between there, so we get a lot of blues in there too.
I like the blues, guys. Yeah. I do, and you guys, your sound is great without a doubt, and I've enjoyed listening to some stuff. And so, the singing aspect, where did you start singing, Gabriel?
So my first place I ever played at was at the Rose Bowl Tavern in Champaign.
Great place.
We never got super serious about doing it until I participated in the Teen Talent Takeover contest. It was March of 2023, and we took first place up. I took first place up there. I did one original song and then two cover songs. I think it was an Elton John song, a Hank Williams, Weatherman, and an original one called Party Animal. And since that, we've been serious about it and started the band in October last year. We did our first show at the Folk and Roots Festival with CU Bands and Fans in Champaign, too.
Yeah, CU Bands and Fans, great job of what they do in the community and around the area. Terry and those guys, just magical. Great friends of ours, too, and good supporters of the station. And so you win that, play at the Rose Bowl, which is an awesome music venue in Champaign-Urbana. Ian, have you had the background, too, in music? Have you been in music long, or did you say, okay, let's take this horse and roll?
Well, my parents were poor, so when I was older teenager, let's say 16, for Christmas I got a guitar, And my dad said, I'll never have a retirement, so learn how to play this thing. But I never really did. I mean, I played it okay. I played it good enough. I thought that it would get me some girls. But I never really got real serious about it. But as a kid, he'll tell you stories about remembering me playing some different Led Zeppelin stuff, and that influenced him to pick up the guitar. And he was better than me in a couple of months of practicing. So I thought, you know what? You're so good at it. I'm going to learn how to play the bass. I'm just going to play a supporting role, and we can move down this road together.
And that's kind of where you're at now. Is
Yep.
you've kind of done that. And how hard was it the bass to learn?
Well, I got these sausages for fingers. You can't see it on the radio, but let me tell you.
Oh, I got them. I feel you. If you got sausages, I get it.
So, it was a lot easier actually to play the bass than the guitar for me.
Well, good. And then what inspiration do you give Gabriel? I mean, you've been in music now. You hear how good he's picking everything up. You guys have started a band. How special is it that you guys get to play together when you go out?
There ain't words that can describe it. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, there's songs that I grew up listening to in the house, and he played them. I mean, half the stuff that I play up on stage is stuff that I've heard on the car radio before, and I think we had a conversation about it. It's such an incredible feeling to be able to physically enjoy the songs that you've loved for so long.
Now,
you
you
know?
sing, Gabriel, and so what's your inspirations for singing? I mean, like, you look, I know you said you like the country rock, you got some blues. What's your favorite type of thing you want to sing?
I've heard some pretty incredible country singers, and some of them are modern, some of them aren't, but I enjoy the vocal clips that I hear George Jones doing all the time. He's a truly impressive singer, and I just remember singing that stuff in the shower or putting something on the stereo, when I get home from school and there's nobody there, and just singing along to it. I've enjoyed singing most of my life,
I feel that.
I never felt that I was ever going to be serious about it, though, until
Right.
a year ago,
And that kind of all changed everything, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So when you win that, you guys decided in October to start the band. How'd you come up with the name?
Well, the Traveling Radio Show is a reference to a scene in Smokey and the Bandit. Frog's crawling in the back seat, and she's saying, "I'm going to get killed in this traveling CB radio show."
So that's Smoking is one of your favorite movies, Ian?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a truck driver. I own my own truck.
Okay.
And so, yeah, Smokey and the Bandit is very high on my list.
Now, how long have you been doing that?
I bought my truck 2 years ago. I've been in and out of semis since the 90s. I've done a handful of different things. I did construction for 12 years. But, yeah, semi-truck driving is just, it's awesome. And I can't wait for this to hit and us to have to load up my semi with all of our band equipment and go tour the country.
I hope that happens. That
Yeah.
would be absolutely awesome. But you spend a lot of time in the truck then, so you
Yeah.
get to hear, and you get to listen probably to a lot of different music, a lot of different songs and different genres, I'm sure. Do you get inspiration and sometimes, because I know I do this, especially when I'm getting prepared for like a show like this or any other show I do on the station, it just clicks, and you think, man, that's something I need to think about and follow up on. Then your creativity starts running. Is that kind of what you think when you're on the road? And then, Gabriel, same question to you. When something hits you, when do you put pen to paper?
There's been a couple of times where I'm on the way home from work, and I'll have to pull over. I'll get off the road. I'll get off the highway, park somewhere, and I keep a guitar in my back seat. I have a couple of just beat up guitars that I'll just play on here and there, and I'll write down whatever I can on that.
What about you, Eden? When's that hit? You hit and then you have to call somebody? Because I know.
No, I keep it to myself. I mean, he and I talk quite a bit. So driving down the road, yeah, you listen to stuff, you get an inspiration. And there's a lot of times where I'll just voice record myself because driving a semi-truck, I can't just pull over and write
Right.
stuff down. But I'll voice record myself, and then we'll talk about the ideas. And a lot of times, he'll take the idea and turn it into a song. I put 2 songs together, but most of the stuff, he's the creative force behind what we do.
So when you come up with a song and you start writing, and I've heard talked to a lot of different guys that do different things. Do you guys sit down together and say, all right, here's what we got. What's the beat?
Kind of. So we've got kind of a weird setup because I'm away for 5 to 6 days out of the week. I will give him the idea. He'll form it into something that, like clay, it starts to take shape. And then we'll have a phone call and we'll talk about it. And he'll send me a recording of him and his guitar doing some singer-songwriter stuff. In my semi-truck, I have a full bass rig. I have the head, the subs, and the bass guitar. And so he'll send me that, and I'll play along with it, and I'll send the bass back to him. And we'll back and forth all week until the weekend when we get together with the band, and then that's when it really gets its full form.
So you've kind of got a layout of what you want with a song, when that happens before you even get together with the band and before you even get to see each other.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That's a thing of technology that you just don't see anymore either, because you can do it so quick. So you're on the road, you said 5-6 days a week, Ian.
Yep.
When you park at night, is that kind of when you get everything out and do it?
Yeah, or part of trucking is sitting in docks. So
Right.
there's a lot of time where I'm sitting there waiting for the light to turn green so I can pull the hell out of that dock. And I'll just, I'll either be practicing stuff we've already done, or he and I will be working on original stuff, yeah.
Now, you guys have played a few shows, you said. Your last one night over the last holiday and 4th of July was in Paxton, Buckley, Loda. You guys are from the area. Great turnout, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, it was great.
When someone comes sees you at a show, what can they expect?
Well, they're going to feel the music. So our advertising says that we're country music, but I think when you get there, we want to hear from the fans. What do you think? Are we playing country? Are we playing rock? Are we playing something in the middle? We love the interaction with the fans. You can see the energy. When we get going, there's an energy on stage, and you look out at the crowd and you see people having a good time dancing, and they're waving and singing along on some of the covers that people know. It's just a great energy.
And that's what's really all about. It's the energy from people, because you guys feed off that, then they feed off you, and it's a fantastic kind of I don't know what you would call it, an aura.
Yeah,
when you're playing.
It's a
when you're on
symbiotic
stage.
relationship.
Right.
It's pretty easy when the bass player's got his foot up on top of one of the monitors, just banging out a bass solo.
Why does that not surprise me? Which one of your favorite covers you guys play?
I really, really like Weatherman by Hank Williams Jr.
Okay.
He's got a story he told me about that Teen Talent Takeover contest where, you tell it.
Okay, so he's getting ready for the contest, and I'm sitting out front on a bench, and we had 3 songs planned out. He and I had kind of gone over what songs we thought he could sing the best. And he's upstairs with a couple of the other performers, and like I said, I'm sitting outside, and there's a stairwell that comes down and out the front door, and all of a sudden I hear him singing a song that wasn't part of the list, and that's Weatherman. And it it sounded so good, I couldn't believe it was him. And I walked inside, and once I walked inside, everybody that was standing there at the front was looking up like, where is that voice coming from? And I immediately went upstairs and said, you got to sing that one. That's the one you got to do on the stage.
Yeah, I think I had a Hank Sr. song put on there, which I love him. I'll do his songs all day long, but that one, I knew I had to do that one that day.
Yeah.
So what other covers do you guys like to sing? What do you like to play, Ian?
Willie, Waylon, all the outlaw stuff.
That's good. That's awesome stuff, man.
Yep.
You don't like the modern stuff?
There is a very select group of modern country that I would say, stays true to what I would call country. There's a line that says there's too much pop in my country, and that is just running rampant. And so we're trying to keep that down.
And you know what? I love that. I love you. Back to the roots, man.
That's right.
Back to the old school. That's what it's all about, is getting to the roots. You said Waylon, Willie. That's kind of the feel you get when you're on stage and you're playing that bass. You hear your son singing. You got chills. You're seeing the crowd. What is that one moment, though? Like, what's that time when you're like, okay, we've done this? Do you have that feeling yet? Have you got to that point?
It happens every time we play a David Allen Co. song called The Ride.
Yeah.
And it talks about the journey to Nashville and Hank Williams coming in and having a conversation with this young wayfarer wanting to make his way. And it just feels like he's on his way. And it's really cool.
You're enjoying the ride so far, aren't
Yep.
you? Hey, we're going to come back after this quick break with the Traveling Radio Show, Gabriel and Ian, and we're going to get to know them a little bit more personal, on a personal level. You're listening to Clubhouse Lounge Radio and Backroads and Barstools. Don't forget, Saturday, July 20th is Summer Shakedown 2 at Bargenta in Argenta, Illinois. 10 local singer-songwriters on stage for you all day long starting at noon, headlined by the Matt Poss Band. General admission tickets only $20. That's an all-day pass. You can get your tickets online at chlradio.com or day of at the event. Sponsored by RocketMotorsDetailing.com and Classic Granite and Marble, along with Busch Light. Make sure you grab a cold with $2 beer cans at Bargenta that day. Along with other drink specials, make sure you make your plans to be at Bargenta for Summer Shakedown 2 on Saturday, July 20th for the party of the summer.
Come commercial free now. This is Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
Back here on Backroads and Barstools in the Clubhouse Lounge Radio studios, I've got the Traveling Radio Show with me, Gabriel and Ian. They are from Loda, Illinois, and we appreciate them going in. Guys, thanks for joining me today. Let's get to know a little bit more about you guys. Let's let fans know just kind of some personal stuff about you. Not too personal. Nobody needs to know, your waist size or things like that, head size. But let's talk about, so when you guys play, what's your favorite drink?
It's Coors Banquet.
Oh, the Banquet.
Keeps us well hydrated.
That's most everybody it does. That's good stuff.
Shiner
What
Bock
about you?
if they have it.
What?
Shiner Bock if they have
All
it.
right, all right. What about food? What's a meal look like before you guys get ready and play?
Before a show, you got to eat light because you don't want to be sluggish up there. So, we might have a hot dog or something. Something light.
What about on a normal day, like a Saturday hanging out at the house?
There ain't much that can beat a porterhouse steak.
Yeah, I agree with you, sir. I mean, if anybody knows me, they know me well. They know I like to eat steak and potatoes. I'm not a vegetables and Brussels sprouts and all that stuff kind of guy. But Gabriel, what about you?
So on a Saturday night, I'd like to. There's a special burger that I make on Saturdays. It's called a Drew Burger, and it's all just coated and covered in seasoning and sauce and all this kind of stuff. And it goes best with a Coors Banquet. Kind of just what everybody else in the house is interested in eating.
So let me ask, how'd you get on the Coors Banquet? Because it takes a taste to like the Coors Banquet.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I am. We got time.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Boy, you like that Smokey and the Bandit. It's
That
a
was
great movie.
that
It's
was
classic.
that was the beer in the trailer, so I had to try it. And once I did, it's it's a cheap beer that has a good flavor.
Right.
The light beers, they taste like water, so that one it has good flavor, and you don't have to break the bank to buy a case of it.
See, I'm with you. It's got the best flavor out of all the heavy, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. So, what's a typical day off look like for you guys?
Well, I have a studio in my bedroom. I've got a computer that I built a little while ago, and I had the intent of gaming on it, but I got a mixer up there with a couple of microphones and jacks and stuff, so I'll just sit there and practice some of the songs that, if I have a day off from work, I sit there and I practice and type up set lists and work on musical things that we need to get done that weekend for practice.
Where do you work? What do you do? You don't have to tell anybody where you work exactly, so they don't bug you. They don't want to come in for autographs or anything, but...
Well, I sometimes I go up to a used car dealership and I sell cars there for money. If I happen to sell one, I get paid for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that does that. Ian, you're on the road. You've been driving a truck, you said, for the last 15, 20 years.
On and off, yep.
Construction for 12 years. What made you get back into driving a truck 2 years ago?
Well, that might be a little bit too personal. My wife and I, we went through a little bit of a tough spot, and we needed some breathing room, so I got in a truck, and it just seemed to work. We worked out our differences, and everything's great, but the time away makes you appreciate when you come home.
I feel that, man. I feel it's like when I go back home.
Yeah.
I don't get back home when, it's only 2 hours south, and I don't get back home very often, but when I do, it makes you appreciate the slow down and just the little things in life, and that's what it's all about. That's what music, whether you guys, you're on stage and you bring so much joy to people being on stage and music, because it's such a release from this day and age of everything that's going on, and that's why I love music as well. And you guys have fallen in love with the older country, and you love Hank and Willie and David Allan Coe and Hank Sr., Hank Jr., and that's this younger generation. I'm just going to speak the truth here. They have no clue who these guys are, and it's sad because they're legends. They put out good music, not auto-beaten, auto-tuned, all that junk. They actually played music and sang, and I don't know about you guys, but when I hear something like that, it just goes right to my heart because it reminds me of the good old days and days when things were a lot easier and a lot simpler because they aren't anymore.
Yeah. Yep, it was once said that to make good country music, you just need 3 chords and the truth. And you don't need all that extra bullshit that goes in there nowadays.
Correct.
All that stuff that makes it too much pop music. I don't know. You got to do what you got to do to make money, and that's what they're looking at is the bottom dollar. They make more money by doing it that way, but they're ruining the music itself, the heart of the music. So.
And I think you're seeing almost a turn because everything goes in phases and fads, and I think you're starting to see guys like Stapleton and these guys come in and try to turn that back, and I hope they do. So of new artists, though, what are some of the guys you guys like listening to that are new out there?
This is a topic that I enjoy talking about.
Well, great. We got time. Let's go.
I'm of a mind that we're at a revival of a classic outlaw country kind of scene because you got people like Whitey Morgan and the 78s out there. Any song of his, I'll do it. We got Charlie Crockett, Sturgill Simpson, kind of doing that classic and outlaw country genre. Whiskey Myers is a pretty good rock and roll country guy.
Yeah.
I love him. We do Stone at some of the shows. It's one of my favorite songs of his. I love all of them. I like Logan Ledger, even though my bass player isn't a fan of playing that up on stage.
and one of the modern legends that you can't forget, Jamie Johnson. That fella is nailing.
I don't know how I forgot that one.
Yeah, Jamie's doing a great job, and all those guys you mentioned are fantastic, and Whiskey Myers especially. I love Whiskey Myers, and it's amazing how these guys are taking it back and trying to take it back, and everybody's fighting for them to take it back, but they're there. So, all right, some more personal stuff. I like personal stuff. No, I'm kidding. You can't get that personal.
Oh boy.
I know. I'm kidding. We talked food. We talked a little bit of what you do, what you like to do. What are some hobbies besides music?
It seems like that's all there is anymore. There used to be cars, and we rode in one of my classics here today.
I noticed. That's what I was trying to get that question into.
Yeah. I used to be able to work on those and spend time. I built a couple, and I had a pretty big car collection, but music is all there is anymore. You know, with how much this has grown and how much fun it is. I don't want to make it sound like it's all work, because I have a blast doing it, but there ain't even time to cut the grass anymore. And God bless my wife, she picks up the slack. There isn't another woman like her.
I feel that 100%, and I get it, because with my full-time job, and we've got the station as well, I have a wonderful wife. But let's talk about the baby out there that's sitting out in my driveway right now. What is that? Because it's pretty.
It's a 1969 Cougar. It was my grandpa's car. When he passed away in the 90s, and my parents were executor of his estate, and they got 4 different cars, that being one of them. So I remember as a teenager washing and waxing it and asking my grandma if I could have it as my first car. And luckily, she's way wiser than I was at the time. She knew I'd kill myself, because the thing is a monster. But they sold it, you know, being executor of the estate, they sold it to a guy in Indianapolis. And then it got sold a couple more times, and we found it in Des Moines in 2019. That's my grandpa's car, the same VIN and everything. And she's got a few more miles on her. You can tell that a lot of other people have enjoyed her, but she's back home where she belongs. She's called the Stray Cat.
All right, I want to know a little bit more of this story. And we've got some time, so I want to know a little bit more of this story. So you went and found your grandpa's car.
Yeah.
Like almost 9 degrees of separation type. Tell me a little bit about this, because this is Backroads and Barstools. We talk about cars, too, and I'm a car guy, so it was sold to a guy in Indy. So how did you track that down to the guy in Iowa?
So I got on a forum. There's a great forum, the Classic Cougar forum, and there's a couple of guys on there that are just amazing. That car's got a one-of-a-kind paint job on it, and the caveat to this is I'm colorblind. So I had to have somebody else tell me what the colors are. I understand it's a lot of cool different colors. It's a very colorful car. But when I put the picture on the internet, a couple people gravitated. They said, I saw this car. I saw this car here. I saw this car there. There were little breadcrumbs. And then all of a sudden, one morning, I get a phone call. This was on a Wednesday. They said, hey, your car is for sale in Des Moines on a little used car lot. I called that car lot, and I said, that's my grandpa's car. I'll be there. And the guy said, you just missed it. I sold it. It's getting shipped out to Washington State. And I said, look, man, I'll pay extra, whatever. He says, I'm a car dealer. I can't do that. I jeopardize my license. He says, what I'll do is I'll try to facilitate a sale from that guy to you so that you can have your grandpa's car. So pins and needles. I waited a day for an answer back from him, and finally got that call, and he said, okay, he'll do it. But he wants, it was a weird thing. The guy was, I should say, an eclectic person. He paid $6,666 for this car, because that's the number he wanted to pay. He said for me to buy it, I would have to pay $7,777. And I was like, the car's priceless to me. Yes, I'll be there with $100 bills.
Yes, no kidding.
Yeah. So we went to Des Moines with a trailer, and that morning I met the fella and took it for a test drive, put it on the trailer, and brought her home. And yeah, she's been with me ever since.
What was that like? I'm gonna ask, because I'm a very heartfelt guy. Was there some tears?
No, and the problem was you shouldn't ever meet your heroes. So when I was a teenager, that car was perfect. Now she's got some dents and dings, and the seat's ripped, and she's just not what I remembered. I almost walked away. I made a very important phone call to a friend of mine, and he said, if you don't buy it, you're not going to get another chance. You chased that car for 25 years. This is the only chance you're going to get. So you either buy what's left, or you just say goodbye and quit chasing it. And he was right. So no, there wasn't tears. It was like, damn it, it's not the car I remember. I mean, it is, but it's just so.
People say that about me too when they see me, haven't seen me for 10 years. They're like, ah, no. But that's awesome, and that's an awesome story because family means so much to me, and I can tell it means so much to you guys as well. And so, will that car be passed down?
I have 2 children, so they're gonna have to fight over it.
Gabriel, will you win that?
There's a bit of an age difference. I think if I wanted to, I could, but I'm not going to do that to my sister.
All right, guys, we're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about some songs that you like to play, some little music where you're going to be playing at, and then we're going to play a couple songs of you guys, too. So you'll be right back here at Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It's a traveling radio show on Backroads and Barstools.
All the clothes I'm wearing and the road same old song.
Rock on. This is Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
It's Keith Gibson inside the Clubhouse Lounge Radio studio. Don't forget, you can make donations right to Clubhouse Lounge Radio by Venmoing us at CHL Radio. Drop a donation and we'll drop you a free t-shirt. That's right, you make a donation of over $20, we'll drop you a free t-shirt. So make that donation today and help us help you keep the music alive right here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
Wasting my time, and I'm out just rambling around. Wasn't long before I knew you were leaving, but I thought you'd come back home. So I'm out just doing what I love, 'cause I missed out on love. Down, out of town, 'cause I'm scared to hit 22. Oh, and I'm out just wasting my time, and I'm out just rambling around. Some drinks, yeah, I had a few, never thought I'd be out living. Still got your turtle and I show him around, and I'm singing all the songs that you love, and it's hurting you put on me comes out like a musical drug. Oh, and I'm out just wasting my time, and I'm out just rambling around, riding out who cares where to. Never thought I'd be out living you. It's not a joke, well maybe it is, and I laugh 'cause I'd rather not sit here and cry because God knows why. But it's over now and I'll see you in time. Oh, and I'm out just wasting my time.
Welcome back to Backroads and Barstools on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Sitting here with the Traveling Radio Show. I've got Gabriel and Ian with me. And guys, we just heard your song, Outlivin'. And I see you guys have turtles in your pockets. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And it's a little somber, but I want to hear the story, and I think everybody deserves to hear it. So let's talk. What's the turtles represent, guys?
Well, the turtle, his name is Turtellini, and the real one sits in my dad's shirt pocket. He is in remembrance of my older brother. We had a 3 years difference, and he passed away 3 years ago riding drunk on a motorcycle. He hit a car in oncoming traffic, and we lost him. You know, cop comes to the door one morning, and just you don't expect that kind of thing. And I was 19 years old. I'm not sure how old I was, but I was 18, 19. Shocking thing to see somebody that you've seen your whole life just disappear, and you have no opportunity to see that person develop, to grow up, anything like that. So I'm scared. I'm scared of the time ahead of me. I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know how much time I got left. Anyways, that's a little bit too much more about me. He passed away, and he had this turtle that he'd put on the dash of his semi-truck. And he would take pictures of him all over the world, wherever he took his semi-truck to, and he'd say, "Where in the world is Turtellini?" And it was given to him by an ex-girlfriend, and while she wasn't around anymore, he still clung on to some memories. And after he passed, we were tasked with cleaning his belongings out of the semi-truck, and I saw him sitting on the dash of the semi-truck, and I had remembered seeing these pictures. Shortly after he passed away, we took a few vacations to try to get our mind off of what had happened, and we would take Turtellini, the real one, and just take pictures wherever our vacations were at the time. And now that we're a band, I figured what's a better opportunity to show Turtellini around than up on stage. That song's about him. It's about the way that I'm coping with the loss of him, and it mentions the turtle in there. I'd like everybody to know Turtellini, even if you don't like country music. You know, at least see him. You know.
That's awesome. It's got to be hard. I can't say I know how you feel because I don't. But having something to represent your brother wherever you go, and now wherever you play, guys, he's going to see all over the world. He's going to see so many different places. And Dad, you've got him in your shirt pocket, and he's right next to your heart. And I'm sure it stays there all the time, doesn't it? Even when you're on the road.
No, on the road he sits on top of my CB.
Okay.
He goes right on top of the CB there, watches the road.
And so, just one, but you both have a turtle, so that's Tortellini. And what is the same one?
Yeah, so my mom, she found the company that manufactures the turtles. And after seeing that we can buy some, I don't think that they produce them anymore. But they had overstock left over. She bought all of them, which is perfect because at a show, after hearing about Turtellini's story, anybody can have one. We have piles of them on the table. If any one of us is just out and about, I want somebody to see the turtle and ask about it, we've all got one.
And we encourage people to take pictures of their Turtellini somewhere, post it. Where is your Turtellini? Where in the world is Turtellini?
This is awesome, and I want to help you guys do that. And I want to really, I want a turtle. Because I go a lot of places, see a lot of different people, and I think this is very awesome and a great honor for your son and your brother that you're doing this. The Tortellini is going to make an impression. And I want them, on our Facebook page, on our Facebook group, Clubhouse Lounge Radio Facebook group, anybody can post. It's a public page. Anybody can post. Anybody who's got a picture of Tortellini anywhere, let's post it. Let's see where we can go this summer. Because I think that's just really awesome, and I want to help you guys out too. So every time we do this, we'll tag you, cool. And that's really cool. Because now he's getting to see your success right in front of his eyes, and so that's really awesome. And so that's where the song came from. How long did it take you to write that?
It's a scary thing because I spent a lot of time on songs trying to figure out how I want them to go, what I want to write about, and this wasn't like that. I was on the way home from the hospital. I have Crohn's disease. I get infusions for it, and I was done that day, and I was on the way home. And the hospital I go to is in Champaign, and I was passing Rantoul where our practice spot is. And the idea just came to me. I just had this overwhelming emotional, I don't know what it was, but it happened right then, and the shop's right there. So I pulled over. I have keys to the shop on my hip. And I went in there, I grabbed one of the guitars that was there, and I just sat there for 3 hours, finished it. And the crazy thing is, it's the first song that we have on Spotify, but it wasn't supposed to be. You know, we have another song, Woman Named Music, that was supposed to be up there. And after this song was done, all the other plans that we had, we just put them to the side and put this one right up front. It just came about so quickly, you know?
Great things happen like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the big guy upstairs always takes care of us in the way that he wants to. And I feel that because when I'm having a rough day, and, you know, I can come out here in the studio and I can sit and just start either writing or come up with something creative, and then next thing you know, boom, I got an idea, and it's exactly what I needed, and sometimes you just need that. So, Great story. My heart goes out to you guys, because I don't handle that stuff real well either, but let's make Tortellini famous. Let's get him out there and everywhere he can go.
Awesome.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back here with the Traveling Radio Show. We're going to talk to them about where they're going, what they got coming up, and where you can find them on social media and out and about where they're going to be playing soon. You're listening to Backroads and Barstools on Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
Listen at work, my whole office loves you.
Yo, man, don't stop the music.
I don't get tired of it. You better listen to this station.
Non-stop music.
The station that you won't get tired of listening to. Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
Hey, loungers, it's Keith Gibson here at Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to our local musicians who have sent in their music to be put into rotation on the station 24/7. We like to put those in rotation as often as possible so we can get the most airtime for them. So when you go out to one of our famous dive bars and listen to little guitars, you're going to hear that music that you hear right here on the station. And if you're a local musician who has some recorded tracks and you want them in rotation, send them our way at clubhouseloungeradio@gmail.com or shoot us a message right on our social media channels. We'd be happy to get it in all genres because we are the home for variety and getting all of our Central Illinois musicians in rotation, giving them an outlet for everyone and their fans to hear their music. You're listening to Clubhouse Lounge Radio at chlradio.com. Finishing up our debut episode on chlradio.com of Backroads and Barstools, I got the Traveling Radio Show with me, Gabriel and Ian. And guys, thank you for joining us today. It has been an honor and pleasure hearing your story, what you like, what you don't, hearing where your music come from, where your inspirations. But let's talk about now the important thing, where people can find you. So let's talk about first what you're currently working on. What we got working right now that's on the burner, I should say, that we're waiting to get finished or waiting to release?
So I want to talk about Rick Sadowski and for Studio 401 recording studio in Georgetown, Illinois. He's the one that we recorded our first single with, Outliving. He's a really, really great guy. We went down there in one day, I think, and finished that song.
Yeah, he's a very talented fellow.
Our next project is we're going to we have a whole bunch of original songs that we've finished, and they're ready to get recorded, but we haven't done it yet. So that's our next project. We're going to go to him, Rick Sadowski, in Georgetown 401 studio, and get that recorded, the whole album, and put that out on Spotify, just like our single. It's on Spotify right now. It's on Pandora. Any streaming service that you have to listen to music, it's there. It's also on YouTube. And at shows, if you stop by a show, we sell CDs there of the single that you can buy.
And you'll be able to hear it now exclusively in rotation on Clubhouse Lounge Radio, which is pretty cool. So you'll be able to listen to it when you're on the road, Ian.
Yeah.
You can hear it, and you'll have new music alert. You'll be able to hear your song. And when your album comes out, you guys send it my way, and we'll get it in rotation too. I'm excited for that. That's big. How many songs are we thinking on this new album?
Easily, we probably could put 10 songs on there.
Wow.
I think we'll fit
That's
a little
pretty
more
impressive.
than
Yeah, I think we'll get a dozen in there. We got to the summer has to slow down. We have to get some free time to be able to get into the
What's that?
studio.
that. Yeah, we got a lot of shows coming up, huh?
Yeah, we got a lot of shows coming up.
What do we have coming up, guys? Where are we going to be at? Where can people find you and listen to you live?
So in Kankakee at the Merchant Street Music Fest, we're going to be on the main stage there at 5:50. We're going to be for an hour. We're opening for some big national acts up there. So that'll be a great show to get to. We've also got Allie Annie's in Dwight. We're going to be there from 8 to midnight.
Great place.
And we're real excited about that one. And then August 24th, we're going to be at the Deer and Beer Festival.
Oh,
which
two
is
things right up my alley, Ian.
Yeah, it's a great place. You can go there and get your bow worked on and come hear some great music.
You can probably drink a few beers, I'm going to guess, too.
They do sell some beer. That's what I heard.
Yeah, Deer and Beer. You know, that's a great name for a festival, too. But you guys get to play there, so you'll have a great crowd and fit perfectly your music will for that venue and for that event. So you've got some great things going on. What do you guys want to accomplish by the end of 2024?
By the end of 2024, I'd like to go to Nashville.
So we just bought a band van, which we're going to start converting to be able
Are
to
you going to live that van down by the river?
We're not there yet, no. But we're planning to have a trip down to Nashville in September. We're scheduled to be at a festival down there, and we want to play at Tootsie's, one of the most fabled bars in country music. We're going to try and play there on the 14th of September.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you guys. Thank you for coming down to Clubhouse Lounge Radio Studios. Thank you for being our first guest on the re-debut of Backroads and Barstools on CHLradio.com on our apps. And I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck, really. Two wonderful people that sit in the studio right now, and you can feel it in their voices, in their hearts, and in their music. So give them a listen. Follow them on Spotify. Go download their music there. Listen to them on YouTube. Make sure you get out and see them live. That is a traveling radio show from Loda, Illinois. This has been Backroads and Barstools on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Are you tired of paying high prices for radio advertising? Well, you're in luck. Clubhouse Lounge Radio is for you, the people and small businesses of Central Illinois. Contact me, Keith Gibson, owner and operator, to find out how you can get the most bang for your buck by advertising on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Call me at 217-722-3311 or send me an email at clubhouseloungeradio@gmail.com. Making small business, big business for you at a minimal price. Now back to the music on Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
And you're listening to my favorite station.
Here we go with more music. Clubhouse Lounge Radio.